Hey, this is Glenda with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. I know it's been a rough week and laws are being changed and scams, but that's just part of the game. And this is the Keep It Real channel because since 2009, I've been telling you, there's wonderful stuff, there's great stuff, and then some of those units is just a pile of shit. But a few announcements. Still behind, but making headway on Storage Auction U. When that is set and done, it'll be done before I do it. You'll get an email. So there's no need to email me because I have taken a hiatus from the emails. I can't do it. It's just too much, and I don't get anything done, which puts me further behind. So since I've gotten rid of that, a lot of things have happened this week. Got a lot of stuff done. I feel great. And happy birthday shout out to Elisa, longtime fan. Appreciate you watching. And back to comedy, messed up mayhem. The title of this segment, MidTown Tranny. I have held this one back. This is one of the first really jacked up crazy units I got. I'll even tell you the name of the place I got it. It was Meridian Storage. If you go look for it, you won't find it because they were bought out. But it was the first time I went to this place. It was sealed bid. I didn't really like sealed bid, but there was only 4 of us there. And I didn't know what to expect because the whole place is virtually everything's inside storage, except there's a few outside units, but not many. So you're either going up to the 4th floor or down to the basement. We're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. Go to the auction, and the guy who's conducting the auction doesn't really seem to be all that interested in having the auction. He's on his cell phone. He's talking to his girlfriend. He's doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm just waiting because I almost left because I had never been to this place before, and I didn't know. And we go up, and the first room's like just like a closet, really closet. There's a few suitcases, photo albums, and at the time when nobody was looking, I flipped open the suitcase and it was empty, so I just backed off that. Oh, you hear the rules, don't touch anything. I'm gonna tell you, if you're at an auction and there's a crowd and there's not a manager right there at that door making sure that no one touches it, if someone touches something, everyone should touch something, because I lost out on the great unit because I was trying to play fair. I'm going to bid right and bid from the door. Lost out on the unit that had 9 guns in it. That if it was a fair auction, I would have won easily and cheaply. But see, you can't be fair when your competition's not fair. You're just going to lose each and every time. So take this information for what you want to do with it. But no, when I was out there, touching stuff left and right, flipping boxes, and I got an email that I saw. I mean, this video is like, how come you wouldn't have got caught with the bogus set up unit? Because I was at an auction and I felt the unit was a setup. Nice boxes, just like what people are seeing now. Everything, it was too nice, and it didn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not going to make dollars. And and the guy was a dick. He couldn't touch anything. And there were some people next to me, and there was some new folks behind me, and they're kind of moving and moving. And I was like, oh. So one guy kind of bumped into me, and I did an NBA flop, and I just like fell in the unit, right? And they was like, you okay, you okay? But my hand fell on a particular box, and when I pushed those boxes, they all moved, which means there wasn't jack in there. I was like, oh, man. Yeah, I'm all right now. And I got up and just went to the back of the line and watched him. The guy who got that unit was pissed. I didn't see him for 4 months, but I had to ask him, so how was that unit? He like, do you know every one of them damn boxes was empty? I was like, yep. Oh, man. So, hey, you got to do it. I talk about that in my book. Hey, I'm out for you. You got to do what you got to do to make your money. But back to the MidTown Tranny. We go to the second unit. And it's like, okay. And I'm like, this is not looking so hot for the kid. And none of the units go for anything. I'm talking $5, $10, $5, $10. So we get to the third unit, which is MidTown Tranny. And the door goes up, and it's like, whoa, it's a 10 by 10. And it's not packed from the rooter to the tutor. but damn close. I mean, you could see gaps, but there was a lot of stuff. And it took me 2 trips in the van. You know, the E250, that's a big cargo van. It took me 2 trips, and I almost didn't make it on the second trip because I barely got that stuff in there. But it was clear that this unit belonged to a creative person from jump. And I took 4 years of commercial art, and I kind of liked that vibe. So, you know, I was just immediately like, $25. Then the other people, like, they start having the conversations like, well, what are you thinking? What do you think? And, you know, the guy was just like going once. So I was like, damn, I could have said $5. And they was like, hey, you didn't. He said, look, I got things to do. And I just pulled down that door because at $25, there was no way I was going to lose. Little did I know how good this unit really was going to be. And, you know, after the auction, because, you know, I paid for everything, I went back upstairs, and I'm just looking at it, and the first thing I come across, like right here in the corner, was some photo albums. And I pick it up, and psh, Atlanta Gay Pride, psh, drag queens, psh, I mean, album after album. That's call me homophobic if you want to, but gay guys like to take a lot of pictures. I mean, it was just, it had to be thousands. It had to be thousands. I'm flipping through and I'm flipping through. And whoever was associated with this union was clearly homosexual, friendly, or gay. There's no doubt about it. And I was like, okay. But what was cool was all the stuff that needed to be left was pretty much in that corner. I went through it and I was like, hey, I went downstairs and I was like, there's a ton of pictures of stuff. I'm just leave them in there because you don't want them down here. And the guy in the office was like, what do you mean I don't want them down here? I said, well, maybe you might. The guy who lost his unit, he was gay. He's like, oh, yeah, I know. He was real cute, too. It's like, well, it's a lot of pictures. Oh, really? How many? When I clean it out, I'm going to leave them up there, and you can look through them. He's like, yay! I was like, okay, whatever. And I go back up, and I pull out my first load, and it's just like, I don't know what it is with certain gay males, but they're freaking neat as hell. I mean, I'm going through boxes, stuff's dressed right, dress, the paper, the instructions. Like I picked up a stereo receiver, and it had everything, all the cables, the instruction manuals in the box, and it had to be 7 years old. That thing went for like $5.90 on eBay. It was Denon, D-E-N. It was a Denon. I was just like, damn. And it just kept getting like that. He had a block punk. I'm not saying it right, but I'm gonna say it. A block punk, whatever. Audio receiver for the car. That was $200 and some change on eBay, and it just kept going. I mean, he had a Mac, you know, the old Mac with the chrome arm that looks like something from a science fiction movie. Had one of those in there. No password. I mean, it was just. And that's not the good stuff. I don't know what it is with fashion, but I'm telling you, you know, you're like the electronics, they were all good. That wasn't the good stuff. This guy had authentic, high fashion, couture dresses. And he was a petite tranny. I mean, looking at his pictures, you know, no homo. He was cute. I ain't gonna lie. He was cute. He could pass. I'm quite sure there's many a straight man that fell for that trick. And I was just like, damn. Because, you know, you look at the pictures and sometimes, you know, when I'm a social scientist, when I'm out in public and, you know, you see like folks who are clearly saying, hey, I'm gay or whatever. And you'll look at this guy and he looks like a girl. He's like girl size, girl features, and it's just like, man, it just messes with my mind. I'm not gonna lie. And this was one of those people that would just jack you, it would mess you up. There was no Adam's apple. He must have been, he must have been a 6, because a lot of dresses didn't have size. He was a 6 or an 8. Wore a size 7.5, 8 female shoe. Had little ass feet for a dude. And he when he was, you couldn't tell it wasn't a chick. There was none of this, because there's some drag kings. It's like, that's a man. You just know it's a man. There is no, oh well, no. This dude, it wouldn't have even been like, well, you would have bought it. That's how good. You would have bought that ticket. Totally. So I'm going through it, and I didn't know what I had. I didn't know what I had, because I'm like, oh, okay, he's a drag queen. There's dresses and the shoes and stuff. And it's just when I got back home and I started looking that stuff up on eBay, I was just like slapping myself silly. I was like, I had a t-shirt. And this is where I learned that, Juicy Couture, Ralph Lauren, all have like these different lines. And a freaking t-shirt. Can you say bathing ape? An authentic bathing ape t-shirt. That sucker went for $120. A t-shirt. A used t-shirt. And that's how it went. It kept getting it. I mean, the pair of shoes. They weren't Jimmy Choos. There was Michael Kors stuff. There was, and what's really whacked, dude had a Vera Wang dress up in that bitch. An authentic Vera Wang vest. Now, I know you're going, well, you keep saying all this stuff is authentic. Go back to the beginning of the video. What did I tell you about the MidTown Tranny? He was exceptionally neat, detailed, and organized. There was a receipt for every damn thing in the unit. In a box. Dresses, shoes, and when you can put a picture of a receipt next to the eBay item, people just like, woo, woo. I mean, they're just nutting. I mean, it's probably come all over the computer screen because they're just like, ugh, it's real. I didn't have one challenge, not one chargeback, not one return. That's how nice this stuff was. And like I said, this is when eBay was fun, because it took me, God, about 5 weeks to list all that stuff. And every Sunday, it was $2 to $3 grand. Every Sunday. It was like, man, I wanted to cry when it was over. Because when I sold all that stuff, cleared damn near 20 grand off a $25 bid. At an auction, I was about to leave. And I'm just sitting there like, and the thing is, if I had left, I never would have known. Well, then, because the thing is, a lot of people, the smart people, when they have jackpot units, they don't tell anybody. Because this is what happened. When I had my first jackpot unit and the word got out, every freaking unit I bid on, they ran me up. Oh, you made a lot of money. We're going to help you. We're going to help you spend it. That's just that's how it is. That's how it is. Lesson learned, keep your damn mouth shut. And for the folks, it's like, yeah, keep your mouth shut. But now you're talking about it on YouTube. Dude, do that. I'm out the business. Been out the business damn near, wow. This July 17th would be, June 30th would be 2 years. Damn, time's flying. So I'm not in the business. And for all you affiliate marketers who are sending me emails and stuff and talking about, oh, I'll make more money selling ebooks, I'm not in the business. Do your damn research. But back to the MidTown Tranny. After the money, after the cleanness, it still provided yours truly with comedy. A lot of homosexual guys, trannies, whatever, are very, very introspective. And they keep journals, diaries, and write letters talking about all the crazy shit that they call their life. Because, I'm reading this dude's stuff, and, his daddy did not accept him coming out. His dad was like, it was like a letter in his block. It's like, only women wear dresses with your punk ass. And he had that, and there was a sheet of paper, and that was just all over the sheet of paper. So obviously that struck a nerve. Mom was cool. Mom was like, you're my baby, whatever. But dad, grandpa, uncles, and some other family members were like, oh, we disown you and you do not even exist. Now that's not comedy. That's tragedy, because, that's someone's child. I mean, gay, whatever, just to disown your child because of something like that, that's horrible. That's unconscionable. And then he took that anger and angst. Oh, for the record, I was like, sometimes you mess up. Well, my reason is I have a speech impediment. That's why I spent 6 years in special ed learning how to talk like regular folks. It was a trip. But he was going through this stuff, and he wrote these plays and he wrote these short stories, and he wrote about his lifestyle, which was buck off the chain wow. Dude was doing everything. And the sad note of this, he was HIV positive. And more than likely, he passed on, and that's the reason he lost his unit, because I found his diagnosis papers, medication protocols, and all of that stuff was in the unit. And, now that I think about it, it's probably his lover who put that stuff in there, because it was just too neat for someone who, because, he was diagnosed in like 91. And this had to be 2003, 2004. Wow, that's a long time. So, so it's like either they go real quick or they hang around a long time. I don't know. But that was his deal. And, when you see this, and this is kind of like where I really regret not keeping pictures and stuff, because if I had kept just a tip of that stuff, y'all would be rolling. And I also would have people coming after my ass, because they'd be like, well, that's so-and-so. And ain't that Reggie? I knew he would. So maybe it's a good thing I didn't keep it. But that's the type of stuff that you get when you buy storage auction units. Now, I have another group of people. It's like, I've been buying units for 8 years. I have never came across none of that stuff. Number one, you don't live in Atlanta. What is Atlanta? One of the most plastic, superficial, shallow cities in the world, next to LA. We have people here flossing on 50 G's a year like they're making 250. We have folks making 150, flossing like they're making a mil. I know someone who makes 6 figures, and he has a Bitney. $2,500 fucking dollars a month, a car note. Yeah, we don't talk that much, because I was like, he told me, I was like, you damn stupid. You spend that much money so people think you have money. That don't work for me. But with Atlanta, you have that type of mentality where it's better to look good versus actually being good. So there's a ton of stories here. There's a ton of units for people. CeeLo, a few months, lost his unit. He's got a hit single out. We making money. That's why I did that video, why celebrities lose their shit. It happens so often because they have so many people handling stuff or mishandling stuff, in his case, that they lose their stuff. It's crazy. So you have this city with that high level of superficialness and all these people coming here. It's the perfect recipe for a lot of high-end units. And I want you to understand, I am just a little guy in this scene. I just got a few. There's cats who was doing this for 25 years, who was out every week all over Atlanta. Can you imagine what they got? All right. This is Glendon. We're making money with storage unit.